Welcome in, everybody. Welcome on in. It's a little short intro. My dog is moving around. Oh, she already got the blanket down and the pillow. Oh, well. Oh, well. Welcome to the channel, guys. If you're new here, this is what we do. We're live and we have dogs. So, welcome on in, everybody. Sorry that I didn't schedule the live. If you are, a subscriber and you're like, hey, I just got this notification. Where the heck you been? I meant to schedule this at like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something around there. And I forgot to hit the button to schedule it. So sorry about that, guys. Sorry that I'm just kind of like coming on here on the fly. If you guys are like, where you been? Well, I'm here. I've been here. So I was actually like, I was going over a new case and I was like, this is crazy. I had not heard of this case. I had not even been aware of this case. And I am 30 minutes from everything. When I say that, I'm about an hour from the Tepe house, but literally 30 minutes to an hour, I'm there. Like Chad Doerman. Now we've got, in Cincinnati, I guess that's a little further too. Well, about an hour. So there we go. There we go. So yeah, I'm like literally, I'm in the cesspool of like craziness and crimes that are going on right now. So I guess just join me for the ride, You're probably like, dang, another case, another Ohio one. But I'm just in the algorithm, okay? I'm just in that algorithm. But welcome in. Oh, I thought Catherine, for a second, I thought you said he was in Ohio. I was about to say, you better tell me where. I'm going to go meet him. That'd be funny. Follow him around. Think that'd be a good idea. Hey, Catherine, by the way. Hey, Casey. Hey, Higgins. How you doing? Welcome on in, everybody. Hey, Dead Serious. I like the name. What the hell's going on in Ohio? I know. Marcella. Hey, hoodies. It's something's going on and something's in the water. Hey, Mama Bear, I'm not drinking out of the faucet. Not even in the shower, but gotta keep my mouth closed. Put tape over it. Just kidding. My mom did that one time. She put duct tape over her mouth. She's like, "Oh, you want me to be quiet?" We were just like kidding around, And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're talking too much." And she went and put duct tape on her mouth. Do you know how much that hurt when she took it off? She wasn't the brightest. I'm just kidding. She really was. She was bright, but it was really funny. Hey, Robert, welcome in. Good evening to you. So I'm going to put a picture up of Brittany. I keep wanting to say Bethany. I don't know why, but she's so pretty. Brittany Fuhr-Storms. And I don't know why it says Isaacs, and that might be her mom's name. I don't know of her being married. So born 1996. Passed away last year. So actually, she died last year. And I'm going to tell you about that. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important now, because this whole case is starting to come up again, because the people that were involved are, there's indictments that have come down. There's affidavits. There's things we can read, things that we can go over. This poor girl was pregnant when she died. And nobody should have went out like she did. And I want you guys to hear the story and give me your opinion on if it sounds right to you. Because a lot of the parts just don't sound right to me, but maybe I'm just like blinded or something, So there are new federal charges. Some more disturbing details are going to come out and what really kind of happened that night. So welcome back, everybody. This is Titanium Built. Like I said, my name is Tanya. Thank you for being here with me. And if you're not following this channel, you should. We do cover cases that many people cannot stop talking about or thinking about, the cases that are trending. We try to, do cases that aren't trending as well. Difficult details, unanswered questions, and just developments that deserve attention, just like this one. So tonight we're going to be talking about the heartbreaking case of Brittany Fuhr-Storms out of Ohio, Middletown, Ohio. And there are some major new updates to this case and that are more disturbing if you guys haven't followed this case in for any amount of time. Because Law and Crime had actually done an episode, which I don't know if I watched it or not, but they did an episode over this in August. And so that's when this kind of all happened. And now now everything is coming to a head where, people are indicted, people are getting charged, people are going to prison, federally charged too. So not just charged, federally charged. Hey, Karen, and welcome in everybody. Hey, Lenora, if I didn't see it sliding in there. It's good to see everybody. I'm going to move my chair. I swear my chair's like so wobbly for me, like putting my feet on it. Okay. So a little bit about what happened to Brittany. Brittany was 28 years old and she was pregnant when investigators say she died in July of 2025 inside an apartment in Middletown, Ohio. Ironically enough, Vincent used to work in Middletown, Ohio. He worked there for 5 or 6 years, 6 years actually, 6 or 7 years. And I would go there and get him for work all the time. So I've been in Middletown a lot. It's just a small little town. I don't even know how many people live there, 20,000 maybe, if that. According to newly released federal court documents, which we're going to go over tonight, Brittany is believed to have suffered an overdose inside of a bathtub at a residence on Logan Avenue. Investigators say 2 men inside the apartment tried giving Narcan and CPR after she became unresponsive. Court documents state she briefly showed shallow breathing, but 911 was never called. Instead, according to court filings, she was left there. They thought she was going to be okay. They thought she's going to wake up. She's not breathing. So they give her CPR, Narcan. According to investigators, her body remained there for 4 days. Several days. I believe it was 4 days. 4 days. And so this is a trigger warning. Federal documents also say that her unborn baby was delivered after she died. And both of the bodies, this is the stuff that got me like, I was like, what? They were later wrapped, placed inside a tote, sealed, and transported away from the apartment. Like those totes that you get at Sam's Club? They're like the big ones with the yellow lid. I don't know. I always just feel like everyone knows those totes. It was like that, but with a blue lid. Authorities also say that Brittany was bound with ratchet straps and wrapped in a tarp. And her baby was found separately wrapped inside the same container. The tote was eventually discovered on August 3rd, 2025, along a rural road in Jackson Township by people walking nearby. These people just happen to be walking near. Right? Like between the 2 little girls and being found, right, in suitcases, and now we've got a pregnant. She was pregnant, but she had given birth after she died. Yeah, coffin birth. Yeah, it's just so sad. It's so sad and sickening to hear that about somebody, And when you see these 2 fellers, I know that drugs are a hell of a thing, and they do hell of a things to people. But it's like I don't see getting. I'm not going to be getting in a bathtub around y'all. I'm not going to be taking a bath here. We'll get to that part. It's something else. 3 men have now been tied to this case. We have James Rothenbush, who has already pled guilty. He was the guy's house that they were at. He pled guilty to tampering related charges and was sentenced to 30 months in prison. Ricky Shepard now faces federal obstruction related charges, and actually there's a lot more than that. And Walter Wade also faces federal charges tied to concealment and obstruction. And I'll show you that there's more than just those, though. Federal prosecutors recently took over because they believe additional evidence supports stronger charges than what was originally filed at the state level. So they're mad. Basically, they're pissed. They're like, "We're gonna go ahead and take this over." I have a tag that's like itching me. So, basically, the stuff that what has shocked many people about this case and what has shocked investigators about this case is that multiple people were present. They knew that Brittany was pregnant. They attempted apparently some intervention, but still never contacted emergency services, knowing she's pregnant, like right there alone. Court filings also mention attempts to buy large containers shortly after her death, which prosecutors believe connects directly to the disposal effort on their part. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. And that okay, so like I said, James Rothenbush now he is pled guilty to the tampering related charges that he was charged with, and he was sentenced to 30 months in prison. So he's in prison somewhere. I wonder what prison he's actually in. I should have looked that up. Let me see if I can. Let me see if it'll pull it up really quick. Maybe not. So, okay, he was sentenced in February 2026. So he's just sentenced. So he might still be in the county jail. 30 months in prison in his role for covering up the death of a pregnant woman. Following his guilty plea to complicity to tampering with evidence, he was sentenced by Butler County Common Pleas Court Judge. Butler County is where I think old Caleb is. Or am I like... Maybe I'm Miami County. I think it's by Butler County. I think they're by each other. So 30, it'll tell us, I think it was like 30 something weeks, some 30 some weeks pregnant. I mean, she was pregnant. So the first thing that came out was from Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, Dayton, Ohio. And it came out August 7th. It says August 7th, 2025. So on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025 at approximately 7:47 p.m., Jackson Township Police Department was dispatched to Fort Anthony Road in Jackson Township for a report of a deceased person. Upon arrival, officers located a deceased adult female inside a plastic tote discovered by individuals walking along the roadway. And they took her a county over to dump her too. So Jackson Township Police Department immediately secured the scene and requested the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office to respond. MCSO's Special Investigation Unit and evidence technicians responded to the scene, and the Montgomery County Coroner's Office took custody of the remains. The victim was later identified as Brittany Fuhr-Storms, a 28-year-old white female. An autopsy revealed that Brittany was pregnant at the time of her death, and tragically, the unborn child did not survive. Investigations led MCSO to Franklin, Brittany's last known address, and based on information obtained there, investigators then contacted Middletown Division of Police, and a joint investigation between Middletown and MCSO began. On August 6th, Middletown Police and MCSO executed a narcotics search warrant on Logan Avenue, the residence of James Rothenbush. He was detained at the scene where narcotics and other drug paraphernalia was recovered. Items related to the death investigation were also observed, prompting a secondary search warrant. Sorry. During an interview, Rothenbush admitted to drug trafficking and stated Brittany died in his home under suspicious circumstances. Criminals. He admitted to keeping her body in the residence for approximately 4 days before it was disposed of. Four days. Okay. You cannot tell me within 4 days you did not walk up in there at least a couple times. And you had to have seen what happened. And instead of then going, okay, now we really got to call the cops. I mean, like, that was probably, too late, but still, that would have been better than a tote. You have a young girl that just had a baby. Now, I don't know, and I don't think the baby was alive when it came out, because they would be charged with a lot more, I feel like, right? I think that you'd be able to. I read so much, I can't remember if I read that where it was the baby was dead, because you would think that you would hear that crying, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. So he admitted to it all. Rothenberg was charged with corrupting another with drugs, specific to a pregnant woman, tampering with evidence, gross abuse of a corpse, trafficking in on drugs, possession of drugs, failure to report a crime or death, possession of drug paraphernalia. And that's all he got was 30 months. Come to Ohio. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't come to Ohio. We're usually pretty good with this. A second suspect, Rick Shepard, was located on Baltimore Street in Middletown. During questioning, Shepard also admitted Brittany had died in the home and that her body remained there for nearly a week before being disposed of. Okay, so we went from 4 days to a week. 7 days is a hell of a lot longer, I'm sorry, than 4 days. When you're talking how many days has a body been rotten in a house? Like, the smell alone, I couldn't imagine. So then, where is it? So Shepard was charged with gross abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. Both individuals, this is when they just had these guys at the time, admitted they were aware Brittany was pregnant. The case progressed quickly due to the strong cooperation between, all the police officers. All right. And then we got these two. Look at these guys. Yeah, I would say he's on drugs. I would say that. Yeah. I would say that's probably a fair assessment. Now, I know drugs will do some weird stuff to you, and it'll make you hang with people that you normally wouldn't hang with. But you're trying to tell me that this girl said to these two freaking weirdos, I'm sorry, but she said, yeah, I'm going to go take a shower in your house. No. I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't know. It's just something about it. I don't believe it. Okay, where's the other guy? There he is, over here. He looks like he's smiling. Is it meth? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. This is insanity. Have you ever seen that there's like those people that like they go through the jail system and they're on drugs and you can see like the progression? I would like to see these people's progression, They're definitely in an old jail because, he 5'7", 5'8"? I just don't see any. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go take a shower. Then also that's because that's what she said too. I guess apparently she was gonna go take a bath. Okay. I would think if you're doing drugs, you would take a bath or whatever you want to do. Like if you want to get right, like get dressed or get like presentable or you smell like shit and you need a bath. I would think that you would do that before you would do the drugs. Not do a bunch of drugs and then go take a bath. Because I feel like wouldn't that like mess up your high? I don't know. I'm just saying. It says that's just evil. People shocked after pregnant woman found dead in sealed plastic tote. Let's play this video. This was one of the first ones that I think came out. Yeah, this was August 8th.
Information this morning in the death of a pregnant woman who hikers found naked in a plastic tote. Police have arrested 2 men in that case.
And we first told you about this discovery
I don't know why they're so blurry, but they are.
in Jackson Township as breaking news on News Center 7 at 11 on Sunday. News Center 7's Xavier Hershevitz is now live in Butler County. And Xavier, new court documents revealing some more details here.
Yeah, Nick, we're here in Middletown on Logan Avenue, where one of the suspects lives in an apartment on this street. News Center 7 has learned that police served a search warrant.
Right there are the white pillars, I believe.
Here. So let's take you back. Sunday night, hikers
There it is. Isn't that what it looks like?
called 911 after finding a plastic tote in the woods of a remote part of Montgomery County in Jackson Township. Inside, police found the body of pregnant Brittany Fuhr-Storms. Tuesday, police arrested James Rothenbush and Rick Shepard in connection with her death. They told investigators she died of an overdose and admitted to moving her body. Police searched Rothenbush's apartment. According to that search warrant, investigators found a suspected bloodstain on the carpet, a blue tarp, screws, and a set of towels that all match the description of the ones found with Fuhr-Storms' body in Montgomery County.
That's just evil. There's no other word for it. That's completely evil.
Like you're gonna use the same man, they always do that. They match like the sheet up with the blanket or whatever, or the pillowcase. Like I guess it's a good thing you told
Both men
yourself.
are facing
Oh, maybe it was that one beside it.
multiple felonies this morning, including abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. Reporting live in Middletown, Xavier Hershevitz, News Center 7.
Okay. Let's listen in on this because I think this will be pretty important. This is the press conference that they had. It's like 11 minutes long. If he talks slow, we'll speed him up a little bit. I'll try to put the closed caption on. Oh, look at that. It works. I think they talk loud too, so we can actually hear them.
25, approximately 1937 hours, Jackson Township Police Department was dispatched to a suspicious circumstance on Fort Anthony Road in Jackson Township, Montgomery County, Ohio. The call was reference a cooler with a bad smell coming from it. At that time, they called for German Township because one of our crews was tied up. German Township got there, was able to get the tote up over the dirt hill that was behind. And at that time, they were able to get the lid off of it and notice that there was a nude female inside.
So so they like put it over a hill. Kind of like in the suitcase, or the case where, with the girls, the little girls in the suitcases, she didn't put them over the hill. She put them on this side of the hill so she could see them, I think.
Once the tote was open, she was wrapped in towels and a tarp. The plastic tote had screws keeping the lid down tight. And that's at that time we secured the scene and called Montgomery County Sheriff's Office for their evidence techs and homicide detectives to come up and assist in the investigation. So, Chief will take it from there.
So on that night, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office sent out our homicide division and also our evidence technicians to respond to the scene. The body was recovered by the Montgomery County Coroner's Office. The next morning, we sent detectives and the EV crews back out so they can be able to walk the roadway, the wood line, and the bank, looking for any additional evidence in the daylight. An autopsy was complete by the Montgomery County Coroner's Office on Monday, August 4th, and the female victim was identified as Brittany Fuhr-Storms, 28-year-old white female. It was also discovered that she was pregnant and the baby was also deceased. This investigation led Montgomery County Sheriff's Office detectives to her last known address was down in the city of Franklin. Information gathered with Franklin PD led us to the city of Middletown. Through combined efforts with the Middletown Division of Police and the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office detectives, 2 suspects were identified and arrested Tuesday night, August 5th, 2025. Through the investigation, it was determined that the female Brittany Storms had died under suspicious circumstances while at the home of a James Rothenbush at 2020 Logan Avenue in Middletown, Ohio. James and another person of interest, Rick Shepard, left Brittany's body in the shower of the home for several days before putting her body in the tote and driving it out to Fort Anthony Road located in Jackson Township and disposing of the body. I will now turn it over to Middletown Deputy Chief Morgan to talk about the charges both of these individuals are facing from their department as they will be handling this investigation moving forward.
Thank you, Chief.
I don't know if you guys know who the guy is. Okay, do you remember the guy that was on Ellen and he always did the cooking stuff and he like made people laugh? This guy looks just like him to me.
So members of our Special Operations Unit, they were
good.
actively aware and investigating the location where this deceased female came from in our city, which is 2020 Logan Avenue, Apartment A in the city of Middletown. Based on the information obtained in Franklin and Montgomery County Sheriff's Office investigation, led them to contacting us. Through this joint investigation, suspects were developed on the evening of 8/6/2025. We served a search warrant for narcotics at 2020 Logan Avenue, being a residence of Mr. James Rothenbush. Rothenbush was detained at that time, and the search of the residence resulted in a quantity of fentanyl and some other drug paraphernalia. During the narcotic search warrant, items of interest in the death investigation were observed. As a result of that, we obtained another search warrant for those items. I believe as a result of that investigation, the search warrant, subsequent interview of Mr. Rothenbush, he was later booked on the following charges, which is corrupting another with drugs, which is a felony of the 1st degree, tampering with evidence, felony of the 3rd degree, gross abuse of a corpse, felony of the 5th degree, trafficking in drugs, felony of the 3rd degree, possession of drugs, felony of the 3rd degree, failure to report a crime or death, misdemeanor 4, and possession of drug paraphernalia, which is also a 4th degree misdemeanor. A second person of interest, which is Mr. Rick Shepard, was located later at 608 Baltimore Street in our city. Shepard attempted to flee from officers, but he was quickly apprehended and detained.
He was quickly detained. Look at this guy. He's like all of 5'7". How fast are his little legs gonna go? Right? I mean, maybe if he's messed up, he might go pretty quick.
Later stated that the deceased died from alleged overdose, and she remained in the house for approximately a week before being removed and left in Montgomery County.
I don't understand why these cops are just believing this story of her getting in the bathtub and then dying and them giving her Narcan and trying CPR. I don't believe any of that. Is there a way? I wonder. There should be a way to look for that, right? For Narcan, see if it's in her system, because I don't remember that being listed.
Mr. Shepard was later booked for gross abuse of a corpse, a felony of 5th degree, and tampering evidence, felony of 3rd degree. Both subjects did admit to knowing that this female was pregnant.
They knew.
The cooperation between all agencies involved was great, led to the arrest of these individuals. We will continue to work together on this matter, along with the Middletown Prosecutor's Office, the Butler County Prosecutor's Office, to ensure a successful prosecution. So there are further charges that could be expected. So,
Deputy Chief for
Yeah. I just want to jump in more time for you guys asking questions. So like I said, there's a couple things, but I want to make sure that we've invited some of our detectives that handled this case. I know Middletown's guys couldn't make it up because they're working the case right now, but I want to make sure the community knows that when this came to us and we had it, a lot of the TV shows these things being solved in, an hour's time and within a day. But the cooperation that we had,
No better.
Our police.
This ain't CSI. We know that by now. Stop telling us that. You've been telling us that since DNA became a thing and CSI came on the air. We know it can't be solved in an hour, but we know it can be solved if you have the DNA within a day, because that's what they did with Brian Koberger. So
Locally here, the city of Franklin, Middletown, all working together the way they did.
Good, baby.
Everybody dropped everything, as they should when you find out that a mother-to-be was just dumped on the side of the road. So I want to applaud the efforts to the detectives assigned to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit, the vice guys at Middletown, the detectives at Franklin. As soon as we called these guys, they were up here in our office within an hour sharing intel. So you don't always get that cooperation all the time around the United States and in Ohio, but in this case, you got to kind of tip your hat to those folks that really, for basically 48 hours straight, worked this case. So
I just wanted to ask, so you believe that she may have been dead and in these gentlemen's home for a week, do you believe that if she lived in Franklin, she went to that house on her own in the first place, like back on July 26, 27, somewhere in there?
It's really hard to say. Like as Chief said, with it being an ongoing investigation, there's still a lot of information that they're trying to gather on this case. So it's really hard to say right now.
I see that. Are you going to wait for some coroner's reports before you go back to prosecutors? Because right now, neither of these two gentlemen is charged with murder.
Correct.
Okay.
Do you know of any more specific relationships you may have had with these gentlemen? Anything romantic, friendship? Do we know of that at all?
No, ma'am.
Do you know how long the baby was along?
I don't think that's been determined yet.
That has not been determined, and so
It
you
will
guys
be.
know the coroner has still listed her death as undetermined because they are waiting a lot of tests to come in.
They're back now.
Your department, Chief, Deputy Chief, your department, are you familiar with these two before this incident?
Yes, our special operation unit were actively investigating this residence prior to this.
Who was it who made the call? Was it a 911 call? How were authorities alerted that there was a stinking cooler?
There was two individuals walking the roadway.
Chief, can you come up to, I'm sorry, Chief, can you come up to
Not a problem. So the initial call was called in by two individuals that were walking on Fort Anthony Road. There's a lot of people that are down there on foot. It's adjacent to a Metro Park ground. There's a creek there as well. So they were walking allegedly down the roadway when they smelled something, and that's when they called 911.
Or will you go back to the map just so they know? When we keep saying, you won't see this on some of the maps, but this is Manning going into Anthony,
Hey, put that back up.
but the right side going up on this gravel is still considered Fort Anthony Road. So when you guys keep hearing Fort Anthony Road, that's what we're talking about. And this is the area or approximate location where the body was located.
And I'm sorry.
What the hell they be walking on that road for? That's not a road you walk on. Well, anywho, I'm glad they were.
Is that Fort?
Fort, F-O-R-T, Anthony
Anthony
Road.
Road.
Correct.
And then Chief, if you would just
It's right up there on the.
talk about the fact that, you know, people think of a cooler, a typical cooler, and they don't see how an adult female could fit in it. But this was a larger container. Talk about that a little bit. It's kind of,
It wasn't a cooler at all. It was a tote. So it was more of a storage tote that you would keep, large items in, your Christmas tree, possibly something like that. It was a larger tote. I'm not sure the specifics of the size, but
Like, you ain't going to Walmart and getting this tote. You're going to Sam's Club or Costco or something. I don't know. I never go to Walmart, but I'll never see them that big at like Target. Not that durable anyway.
yeah. And clearly there was a struggle to potentially get her in there, but yeah, it was large enough for a human being.
So like a store.
Did he just say that it was potentially hard to put her in there? Yeah, he said, and clearly there was a struggle to potentially put her in.
Get her in there, but yeah, it was large.
Oh, that's so wrong. Because I was kind of thinking about that. I was like they're kind of like, or Home Depot, yeah, or like Lowe's. Yeah, you're right. I think we've gotten some at Lowe's before, but I don't know how tall she was or anything, but I'm 5'8", and I think it would be kind of hard. It would be. Don't make me go out in the shed and grab one and dump everything out of it. Yeah, it's just, and there's new documents out, so that's why we're going over it too.
Large enough for
I'm sorry, I'm building up the
for a human being.
So like a storage tote.
Correct,
Sort of
yeah.
Plastic bins. That
Plastic
you
bin,
can
plastic
see
lid.
through.
Correct. I think it was wheeled on one end. Then they had used wood screws to screw the lid down. So
and this is, I apologize for this, it's not very sensitive, but had they broken bones or done any dismembering to get her in there?
not to my knowledge. The autopsy would be able to confirm that rather than myself. So.
And then just back to the people walking on foot. They made a call to 911.
It came in as a suspicious circumstance around, I think that specific time was around 1937 on Sunday evening. One of our crews was on a structure fire, so German Township was actually the first to respond. So they located the tote on the backside of a small dirt berm, probably 10 or 15 foot from the roadway. It was just off the edge of the road. they were able to get the tote up over the dirt berm and get the lid off of it. And that's when they discovered that she was inside.
And German Township Fire Department.
German Township Police Department are the ones that initially, they're the ones that initially had opened, and then my car arrived shortly thereafter, and that's when we started getting the phone calls. So,
And is there a 911 call logged somewhere? Because I believe that we requested
yeah, well, I'm
that.
sure the regional dispatch center should have the 911
Okay.
call.
Was it through Inglewood? But they're down to.
Well, we're down at RDC now, so yeah.
We'll figure out how to get a copy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes.
Chief, well, I know there's no one here from Franklin, but if anyone has this knowledge, had victim been reported missing? Because there was at least a week there. Had any missing persons report been turned in or anything?
So the way the city of Franklin was involved, that was her last known address. So that was the first place our detective stopped to talk to them. And where she was living, at least at that time in Franklin, she was not entered missing at that time. No.
So, okay. Okay. You mean to tell me she didn't have anybody in her life that cared enough about her? I'm sorry, that cared enough about her. She was pregnant to not know and not alert authorities after a week. Okay. If I was pregnant and I don't know. Okay, I'm going to put my friend Misty on there because I know I would talk to her probably more than I'd even talk to Vincent when I was pregnant. If I was pregnant, just because I would be like, wanting, like, because she's a woman. If I went a few days without calling her, if I went a day without calling her, I bet she would be calling Vincent. And then after 2 days, she would be here. After 3 days, she'd be at the police station. Why didn't anybody do any, I don't know. No one had her as a missing person. She was pregnant. Pregnant.
And were there any, I know that you said it's being investigated as an alleged overdose at this point, but the investigation is ongoing. Were there any visible injuries to her body?
Well, I want to clarify. I don't want to say that it's being investigated.
Okay.
It's a suspicious death. The matter has not been determined. We're going to do toxicology and all that kind of stuff. But the fact of the matter is, these gentlemen here have some guys in custody that were there at the time that she died. That's a problem. They don't have any 911 calls. They don't have anybody going for help. That's an issue. So they're going to continue with their investigation as this progresses. A lot of times before they'll go any further with any charges, they have to have everything back from the crime lab and the toxicology. That's what his guys are waiting for.
Oh, that's all of it. Okay. I was just writing in the chat, actually, my cousin, she OD'd in a hotel bathroom, and she was beyond my best friend. She was my sister. Yeah, I don't talk about that much because it's hard, but I know how people that are on drugs can be when things go to shit, right? To hell in a handbasket. I mean, my cousin, for instance, I have letters from the guy. I wrote him in prison, or he was in jail. I wrote him in jail. I was so mad. Wants to know everything. But the guy that she was with, he ran out of the room, I guess, or something, like when the cops got there, and he had her ID and her phone, and he said it was because he wanted memories. Bitch, why you got her phone and her ID? So, he went to jail and stuff. So there's that. Oh, okay. That's Vincent. I was like, who is that? Let's see if the dogs get up and want to go out. Oh, they don't. Okay, so we are going to go over here and look at what they're charged with, and then go over the affidavits. So it's only one affidavit for both of them, but this is for Ricky Shepard, and he is charged with conspiracy to alter, mutilate, or conceal an object. He's charged with 2 of those. And then it looks like accessory after the fact. So maybe he showed up later on after she was already dead, and he helped after that part, during that part. Then we've got, Walter Edward Wade, and he is charged with conspiracy to alter, 2 of those, mutilate or conceal an object, accessory after the fact, and then forfeiture allegation. So maybe those are the 2 that disposed of the body. And then that James, or whatever, James, maybe if they're considerate because it was at his house that he, he's not really the perpetrator, but it was at his house. It happened at his house. So now this one is the grand jury charges. Okay. So we'll read this one first and then we'll read the other one. Okay. And then I don't need the arrest warrant. Okay. I'm just seeing if there's anything that I need. Okay. And I swear that they said that she was like 31 or 32 weeks. And that's 8 months. That's like, you're about to have a baby. So, okay. So let me get some of this down too. Because I got a lot of stuff up. Okay. So let me make this bigger. Okay, make it bigger for everybody. And how about I put my glasses on? Because, why not? Should have cleaned these when I cleaned everything else in here today. Oh, shit. Okay. So, United States of America. This ain't like the state of Ohio. This is, I would be shitting bricks. This is the United States of America, my friend. Against verse Walter Edward Wade and Ricky Shepard. Now, I don't know why one guy is sitting on 30 months in jail and it happened in his house, and these guys are going to, federally. It's because of the charges, but just it's a little crazy. So, just the counts, the indictment is the counts that I just told you about. I think she thinks he's eating. So count 1, conspiracy to alter, mutilate, or conceal an object from on or about July 18th, 2025 through on or about August 3rd, 2025, the defendants Walter Edward Wade and Ricky Shepard did knowingly and willfully combine, conspire, confederate, and agree with each other and others, known and unknown to the grand jury, to corruptly alter, mutilate, and conceal an object, to wit, evidence of the drug use and overdose of victim 1, including the body of victim 1 and her baby, with the intent to impair the object's integrity and availability for use in an official proceeding related to victims 1 drug use and overdose, which related to violations of 21 USC, and it gives the sanction or the violation code. I think count 1, count 2 is the same. So, okay, just read, make sure it was the same thing. And then count 3, accessory after the fact, on or about July 28th, 2025 in the Southern District of Ohio. The defendants, Walter Edward Wade and Ricky Shepard, knowing that an offense against the United States had been committed, to wit, distribution of controlled substance resulting in death or serious bodily injury, that's what it is, did receive, relieve, comfort, and assist the offender, individual 1, in order to hinder and prevent the offender's apprehension, trial, and punishment. Forfeiture allegation. Upon conviction of 1 or more of the offenses set forth in counts 1 and or 2 of this indictment, the defendants, Walter and Ricky, shall forfeit to the United States, pursuant to the codes, any property, real or personal, which constitutes or is derived from proceeds traceable to the violations, including but not limited to a sum of money equal to the amount of proceeds the defendant obtained as a result of the offense. Substitute assets. Okay. If any of the property described above as a result of any act or omission of the defendants cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred or sold to or deposited with a third party, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of this court, has been substantially diminished in value, or has been commingled with other property which cannot be divided without difficulty. It is the intent of the United States, pursuant to this code, as incorporated by this other code, to seek forfeiture of any other property of the defendants up to the value of the property described above. So, grand jury, 4-person, signed it. I mean, that's a pretty big deal if you have to sign your signature there. That's sad, Catherine. I had a cough, sorry. Okay. Where's that one? Did I exit out of it? I could have. Well, let me go look for it. I need to be on this one. Trying to go back to the beginning. I don't know what this is doing. Okay, so find parties. The way they have this set up isn't very good. Isn't it document report? Yeah. Okay. That's it. I think this is the arrest warrant. Yeah, okay, so that's not the one I want. It's this one, I think. It doesn't say like affidavit on it, which is really weird. Okay, this is it. We found it. Okay. So criminal complaint. First page is just going to be, the introduction and the agent background, like the person that's filling out the complaint. We don't really need to, he's been in law enforcement for a while, that's what they always say in the beginning. But probable cause, this is to establish probable cause for the arrest of Wade and Shepard. So unless otherwise noted, I assert that statements or observations were made. I received the information from law enforcement officers who provided the information to me, either verbally or in written report. And this just came out. This is what's brand new, this stuff. So the officer providing me with the information may have received the information by way of personal knowledge or from another source. The following statements are thus derived from either my personal knowledge of the investigation or from the statements reports of other investigators and law enforcement officers. Okay. Before we get started, I'm going to go find some Advil really quick. Give me 2 seconds. I know I have some in here. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we're good. Sometimes these glasses, I think sometimes the glasses give me a headache. Like I can just feel a little bit. So we're good now. Okay, on August 1st, 2025, the Middletown Police Department Special Operations Unit, MPD, opened a drug trafficking investigation that later came to focus on the fentanyl overdose death of a woman who will be identified in this filing as victim 1 and her unborn child. The true identity of victim 1 is known to law enforcement. The investigation revealed that on or about July 18th, 2025, victim 1 and her unborn child likely died of a fentanyl overdose while staying at 2020 Logan Avenue, Apartment A in Middletown, Ohio. On August 3rd, 2025, the bodies of victim 1 and her baby were located inside a plastic tote in a royal wooded area of Montgomery County, Ohio, which is Dayton, Ohio, which is separate from Middletown. Victim 1 body was found ratchet strapped. You remember those? Jillian and Veronica's case? And bound tightly, wrapped in a blue tarp inside of a plastic tote. Her baby's body was wrapped separately in a towel, which was also inside the tote. A toxicology analysis was conducted on victim 1 and her baby at the Montgomery County Coroner's Office. Oh, I meant to put these in so I could read them to you. Hold on, let me see. Some of them I don't know how to say. I'll just put them on there. Actually, maybe I can say it. So it says a toxicology analysis was conducted on victim 1 and the baby. A toxicology report dated September 4th, 2025 revealed that victim 1's decomposition fluid contained fentanyl metabolite, the substance created in the body when fentanyl is metabolized. Fentanyl, carfentanil, I don't know how to say one, xylazine, methamphetamine, and ethanol. In addition, the baby's body contained fentanyl and fentanyl metabolites. Isn't ethanol in like meth? Is it? I don't know. And all the people that have been on drugs and have gotten off of drugs, y'all are the real MVPs. Y'all are the real MVPs. And if you haven't been able to come across that hill yet, you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. So, in addition, the baby's body contained fentanyl. Man. An autopsy conducted at the Montgomery County Coroner's Office also indicated that the baby had an estimated gastrointestinal range of 23 to 31 weeks, and that it had been delivered post-mortem. The coroner concluded that the cause of death was undetermined, but ruled out any signs of violence. Based on a review of the coroner's report, there is no other obvious indicator that of what would have caused victim 1's death beyond the drugs contained in her system. See, you could be on, I mean, it just depends on the person. It really does. It really does. I mean, because like some people can do a lot of drugs and they can just sit there and talk to you like nothing. And then there's other people, they take one Xanax and they're out for 4 days. It's like see you in a week, like there's just, I don't know. I wonder how much, I guess I wonder how much it was of each one. Sorry. Oh yeah, ethanol, it could be. Yeah, it is alcohol, I guess. But I thought it was for some reason, something else. But yeah. But okay, the thing is, their story is, right? We got to remember the guy's story. Their story is and I'll have to find it where she said she was going in to take a bath, but she said she's going in to take a bath. She did some drugs before the bath. And then they went in and just check on her or something. And they found her and they gave her Narcan and they did CPR. Like they did all the things that you're supposed to do, except for call the police. So then they said that they got her to where she was shallow. They saw shallow breathing, I guess, right? You would then call emergency. She's pregnant. You know what I mean? How long was she not breathing? Is the baby okay? All of these things. But instead, they just saw, shallow breathing. We're just going to let her sit there. We'll close the door. Makes no sense. Further, the deputy coroner has confirmed that there are no other obvious cause of death discovered during the autopsy, and that the length of time between death and autopsy would make it more complicated to determine a cause of death. As explained below, multiple individuals involved in victim one's death, attempts at revival, I want to know if they can test that, and subsequent deposition of her body have confirmed that she did, in fact, overdose. Really? That's what made you confirm it was an overdose? Because three guys that didn't report her, didn't call 911, didn't report her missing, didn't say, hey, we got a dead body over here or any of those things. We got a baby. We got a dead freaking baby over here. You're taking their word because she had drugs in her system, enough to OD. You know how many people that are on drugs have had enough drugs in their system, probably OD? 99% of them. They just get lucky. You know what I mean? Everybody gets lucky a few times. Hey, Manchachi, you've been hiding. Hey, Kathy, welcome in, everybody. Just makes me so mad. So it says, as explained below, multiple individuals involved in victim one's death, attempts at revival. I want to know how they knew that. Can you test that? And subsequent disposition of her body. Because we disposed of her body. We didn't call the police. But we tried to revive her. Oh, okay. Well, then she OD'd. I don't know. On August 5th, 2025, the MPD and the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office executed 2 search warrants at 2020 Logan Avenue, Apartment A, Middletown, Ohio. The warrants were in relation to drug trafficking and the death of victim one and her unborn child. The search yielded multiple narcotic-related paraphernalia and substances, including what appeared to be fentanyl. Would you expect anything else? Individual one, who stayed at 2020 Logan Avenue, and as described below, is believed to have sold controlled substances to victim one, resulting in her death, told law enforcement that the substance was fentanyl. However, it lab tested as medetomidine, which is a veterinary sedative commonly used to cut fentanyl. What the fuck? I didn't know that. So they're out here cutting fentanyl with veterinary sedatives. Man, ain't that something? I was just thinking, then that put you to sleep. But I guess fentanyl probably puts you to sleep. Investigators also located items in plain view that were consistent with the items used in the death and disposal of the victim one and her baby. Notably, 1/2 of a torn blue tarp was located in the residence. Can't throw shit away, can you? I only needed half of the tarp. You didn't need to use the whole thing. So you kept half of it. And the half tarp that was wrapped around victim one's body when she was discovered inside the tote. The tarps were found to be a match and were subsequently photographed. Look at this. One of the photographs can be viewed below. The half on the left was found in the residence, while the half on the right was found with victim one's body. Based on my training and experience, I believe the right half is darker due to exposure to the fluids from victim one's body and from the exposure to the elements. Yeah. Same damn tarp. They could probably line it up where he cut it. Individual one, a resident of 2020 Logan Avenue, Apartment A, was taken into custody and interviewed. During the custodial post-Miranda interview, it was discovered that victim 1 had died at 2020 Logan. During his interview, individual 1 explained that victim 1 occasionally stayed at his residence with him and that the two had engaged in a sexual relationship. Oh no. Individual 1 admitted that maybe he is the drug dealer. I don't know. Admitted that he sold drugs from his residence and that victim 1 was a drug user. Well, he pretty much just, yeah. According to individual 1, on the day of her death, victim 1 had gone to the bathroom to take a shower, and he believed that she had taken drugs to get high. Individual 1 left the residence for a time to get the food, and upon returning to the residence, discovered victim 1 unresponsive in the bathtub. Individual 1 told investigators, "That's when I knew she was overdosed." After discovering her unresponsive, he and his friend Rick delivered 8 or more doses of Narcan to victim 1. How isn't 1 enough? Maybe 2? What the hell are we giving her 8 or more? Is that sound right? This is insanity. The two took turns delivering chest compressions and rescue breaths to revive victim 1. After some time, according to individual 1, victim 1 started looking at him and breathing shallowly. Okay. He leaves the house and she's in the shower. He goes and gets food. I wonder how long you're gone. Wonder when she hits the bathroom floor. You know what I mean? This is all kind of weird that he goes in, he finds her unresponsive, and he gives her all this Narcan, and then he gives her these CPR, chest compressions, and then doesn't take her out of the bathtub, though? You didn't take her out of the bathtub? Or did you put her back in there when she was dead? When she was shallowly breathing, looking at you, where was she? Did the cops ask him that? Because if it was in the bathtub, there's no way you can be doing CPR in the bathtub. The victim has to be, or the person has to be laying flat. When you're in a bathtub, you're not laying flat. Your head's, you know how a bathtub is. So you would have to take her out of the bathtub. Like you can probably administer the shots, but not the CPR. So it looks like, what did you just put her back in there? So then after she's breathing, this is a guy that had sexual relations with this woman, he said. I sound like Bill Clinton. And he didn't give enough damn for her and her unborn child to call 911 because he was trafficking drugs. That's what it was. The cops come. I got all these drugs here. I got all this paraphernalia here. What am I going to do? Oh, no, can't have any of that. She's breathing. She's shallowly. She'll be fine. She'll come to. According to individual 1, he believes she was going to be okay. So they left her alone in the bathroom. And individual 1 left the residence. Are you freaking kidding me? He's like, I'm out of here. She's shallowly. What? Usually after people give, CPR, they got to rest for a while because they're breathing heavy. They've been doing all the compressions. They've been counting and they've been, doing the breaths, but not him. Wow. I just missed where we were. Okay, there we go. When questioned about his failure to call 911, he explained that he thought she would be okay. Moreover, he told investigators that he has administered Narcan on several occasions. While individual 1 denied selling fentanyl to victim 1 on the day that she overdosed, the evidence suggests otherwise. Law enforcement obtained and reviewed Cash App data showing that victim 1 had paid individual one $40 on morning that she overdosed. While reviewing GPS data on individual one's phone for the time of that Cash App transaction, it was found that he was at his residence, the same place where victim one died. During individual one's interview, he admitted to selling fentanyl and said his usual sale was $40 to $60. Based on a review of phone evidence, interviews with other individuals located in individual one's Cash App data, I understand that individual one primarily used his Cash App to receive payment from his clients for the fentanyl he was selling. During a later interview with Ricky Shepard, he confirmed that he had observed individual one provide controlled substances to victim one previously, and he knew her to get narcotics from individual one. Shepard said that he had witnessed victim one get what he believed to be fentanyl from individual one the day before she died. While reviewing messages between individual one and victim one, it was found that they had a conversation days before her death consistent with drug activity. That conversation was followed by victim one sending individual one $20 on Cash App and texting him to let him know. In addition, subsequent investigation also shown that individual one sold controlled substances to include fentanyl or substances represented as fentanyl to multiple other individuals during this time period and before. Multiple of those individuals overdosed. Some lived and some died from the overdose. And he got 30 months. 30 months. Okay. I mean, that's cool. That's fine. You know, killing people out here left and right, but that's fine. You know, that's fine. According to individual one, after leaving the scene of the overdose, because, you know, he pieced out, he traveled to his girlfriend's residence to stay for several hours. This guy has a girlfriend too? Oh, it's because he's a drug dealer, but I mean, man. He's a lucky man, yeah. Individual one explained that he did not know how long it was until he returned to 2020 Logan Avenue, apartment A. Okay, why was his girlfriend letting another girl stay up in his apartment? First off and foremost, okay? That would know. Never a day in my life. Okay, because he just said earlier in this affidavit that sometimes she would stay with him there and they had sexual activity. So if he has a girlfriend, why was the girlfriend saying, oh, that's fine, you know, let her stay. She's beautiful, 28-year-old, let her stay. She wouldn't. There ain't a woman on this earth that would say, that's okay. I'm just saying. But he thought it was the next day that he came back. What? There's no fucking way that's a true story then. She went into the bathroom the night before. You saw her. You revived her. She was shallowly breathing. What? This story is not even making any sense. I need a whiteboard. So after he left his girlfriend's house, okay, he refused to look in the bathroom. He thinks it was the next day he went back home. Because he knew. And he says that he was avoiding it. According to individual one, his friend Rick was with him and he told individual one that he was going to take the wheel. Individual one advised that Rick got in touch with his friend Eddie to remove victim one's corpse from his home. Law enforcement later determined that Rick was a reference to Ricky Shepard and Eddie was a reference to Walter Edward Wade. Individual one explained that he was too emotionally distressed to assist with the disposal of the body. No, you weren't, you stupid. No, you weren't, you stupid ass. You were a coward because you gave her the stuff and you knew it was probably laced with something. And that's probably what happened. And let's be real. I mean, she shouldn't have been doing them anyway. She was pregnant, but I'm just saying. And then instead of him, and whenever he sees she's OD'd, I don't even think he ever tried to revive CPR, none of that, none of it. I think he shut that bathroom door and he went to his girlfriend's house and he stayed the night there because he was a little bitch. And he didn't know what to do. Well, it's called 911. Hello, I have an OD happening right now in my house. 2020, Logan Avenue, apartment A. Not apartment B, but apartment A. I'll be out there waiting on you. Too emotionally distressed. Rick and Eddie put a sheet over her body, but individual one claimed he did not know any further details of the disposal. Yeah, you did. You knew it all. Detectives identified Rick as Ricky Shepard on the night of August 5th, 2025. Ricky Shepard was located in the vicinity of 608 Baltimore Street, Middletown, Ohio. Shepard was taken into custody in relation to his role disposing of hiding the body and was transported to the Middletown Police Department. Shepard was read his Miranda rights and waived them. During the post-Miranda interview, Shepard admitted to being present when victim 1 died from an apparent overdose and that he left without ever calling 911 after failed attempts to render aid and administer Narcan. Shepard also admitted to assisting with the disposal of her corpse. Shepard claimed that Ed or Eddie, an individual 1, loaded her corpse into a tote and into the back of individual 1's vehicle. So individual 1, you didn't help with the disposing of her at all because you couldn't. Okay. But you loaded her corpse into a tote in the back of, individual 1's vehicle. Okay. Shepard then drove the tote to another location with Eddie where they offloaded the tote and left. That's the only thing you didn't do is leave with them and go and take the tote where it was. And I bet you knew where it was, though. Bet you did. Bet you did. So you'd have a head start if the cops are on the, Dayton News, we just found a body or something, like, right? Like, he's going to want to know, is that the body? Is that the body that the OD that happened in my house? And welcome in, everybody. Welcome on in. Oh, my eyes itching. Sorry. My dog's stopped her snoring. Which one is it? Oh, Mia, of course. It's always Mia. Okay. Shepard claimed that Ed or Eddie, an individual 1. Oh, I read that, I think. Yeah. Okay. So the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office obtained a search warrant for Shepard's cell phone that had been in his possession when he was arrested on August 5th, 2025. A search of that cell phone revealed that on July 23rd, 2025, so a few days after 5 days after, Shepard messaged 2 individuals on Facebook Marketplace attempting to purchase 1 or 2 55-gallon drums. The message showed that Shepard was looking for it to be empty and have a lid. Well, I mean, why would they give you a full one? Full of what? On July 25th, 2025, Shepard continued the conversation with one seller and said he needed one ASAP. Detectives with the Middletown Police SOU received information from a Miami Township detective that Eddie had potentially been dropped off at 401 Garfield Street, Middletown, Ohio. It was determined that Eddie was Walter Edward Wade. On August 20th, 2025, the MPD made contact with Wade, aka Eddie, and others at the rear of that residence. Wade agreed to come to the Middletown Police Department to speak with detectives and was transported there. He was read his Miranda rights, which he waived. I love that they're waiving them, and was interviewed. During the interview, Wade explained that he was contacted by Shepard to work on a clean out with him, Shepard, and individual 1. What the fuck's a clean out? He admitted to going to individual 1's house and helping individual 1 and Shepard load a tote into individual 1's vehicle. At first, Wade claimed that while at the residence, he was told that the tote was filled with tools. Now, you know better than that. Tools would make some clanking noises. Come on now, you know better than that. Wade described the tote as black with a blue lid, which matched the description of the tote that was found to contain the bodies of victim 1 and her baby. Wish we knew what she wanted to name her baby, because I would call it by her name or his name. Wade and Shepard drove to an unknown location where he helped Shepard unload the tote. Yeah, because you're just going to unload a bunch of tools out in the middle of nowhere, because tools aren't expensive as shit or nothing. Wade claimed he asked again about the contents of the tote, and Shepard told him there was a body in it. Wade never reported or contacted police with this information. Wade advised that he did not know individual 1 well and was afraid of him. You didn't know him well, but you're afraid of him. Why are you afraid of him if you don't know him well? Why am I not the cop interviewing these guys? On October 30th, 2025, Shepard agreed to do a second interview. He was also read his Miranda rights for this interview. During the second interview, Shepard admitted that after or while providing Narcan to victim 1, he took out his phone and told individual 1 they should call 911. Individual 1 took the phone from Shepard and said he would take care of it. Individual 1 did not call 911. On a later date, 4 or 5 days later, Shepard returned to the residence and observed that individual 1 had the door to the bathroom where victim 1 was located screwed shut. Because screwing things together shut works. Where the hell is he going to the bathroom? Because you know I know for a fact that apartment only had one bathroom. I know there's no way. There's no way it had more than one. It was like a 1 bath, 1 bedroom kind of deal. I don't want to know. Shepard also admitted that he brought Wade in after individual 1 asked for someone to help. Shepard stated that Wade was paid by individual 1 to help remove the corpse. Paid. And that Wade knew the details before they even went to individual 1's residence. Oh, yeah, like because he said he didn't know nothing about nothing. Yeah, no, he knew. I.e. that he was moving the body of someone who overdosed. Shepard stated that Wade and individual 1 removed victim 1 from the bathtub and placed her in the tote. So she was in the bathtub. So you didn't do CPR. I'm calling you a liar. I'm going to call you a liar. Well, yeah, but even if you, even if you put a towel underneath the door, like, you know what I mean? And like try to suction it shut, it's still going to smell. And how do you do that from the outside? Oh, I guess if your door's on the outside and it pulls forward like that, okay. They do need, real hydrograms, they do. The smell had to been so overpowering in the whole apartment. How did the people next door not smell it? That live in the same, because it's like a duplex. Oh my God. I'd be moving out. So Shepard stated that Wade was paid by individual 1. Wow. Shepard stated that Wade and individual 1 removed victim 1 from the bathtub and placed her in the tote. Wade used screws to shut the tote tight. After Wade screwed the tote shut, individual 1 and Wade loaded the tote into individual 1's Tahoe. Shepard again explained that he drove the Tahoe and that Wade rode with him to another location where they unloaded the tote with her corpse. Oh, that's redacted. What's this say? Just saying that they disclaimed responsibility for their roles. However, based on subsequent interviews, physical evidence, or review of the electronic evidence, and my training and experience, I believe that Shepard's subsequent admission is correct, that he and Wade knowingly moved the overdose bodies on behalf of individual 1 to cover up the overdose from law enforcement. I agree. This was filed on 3/10. So it says they unloaded the tote with her corpse and left. Shepard was asked about the messages on his phone attempting to buy 55-gallon drums and advised that individual 1 had requested that he look for them. Shepard further admitted that individual 1 told him and Wade, make sure it don't get found. Who the hell talks like that? Make sure it don't get found. An apparent reference to the body of victim 1. Oh, well, sorry about that. And in his own interviews, Wade had disputed much of the information provided by Shepard, including at first denying he knew what was in the tote, because he's going to say, yeah, I moved the tote, but I didn't know what was in it. right? You're going to get yourself a little bit there, but not all the way there. That's what the cops are there for, to push you over, like to put, to get you to where you, oh, tell us more. So, it says, but later admitted that he had pulled the body off the truck. Wade also admitted that he never came to the police department to report what he had done. Oh, wait. Yeah. At various times, Wade also claimed he was threatened, high, or drugged during his involvement. Based on the context of the interviews and his inconsistent response, I do not believe these claims to be truthful. And then it's just, in conclusion, probable cause. Aaron Bowder. Why does that name sound familiar? Subscribed and sworn to me by reliable electronic means, specifically FaceTime video. Okay. I don't, I'll have to look into that. When did they go back to court? I think it's soon. I want to say it's like next week. I'm sure that there'll be other channels, not like, I don't know if other channels will cover this, but there'll be, I think like Law and Crime and stuff will pick it up because they picked it up before. I was going to see if like, if it would come up, like something would come up. I think we watched this, but I was going to see if there's anything else. Yeah, because like I was telling you, it says hikers find pregnant woman's body stuffed in plastic tote. And Law and Crime covered this case 7 months ago when it first happened. And then now things are happening within this case. So that's why, it's coming up again. I was going to see if there's anything else. There's other stuff we could always look up with this case too. Figure out who these people are. There's just so much. Oh, good night, baby girl. Have a good night. It was good to see baby girl. I don't know what I was gonna say. You have to describe your feet. I asked Vincent today why this is a good question. This is a good question. Maybe Vincent's mom's listening. Maybe she'll give him an answer for me. But I was wondering why, when you go into a Japanese home, you take your shoes off. Actually, if you go into anybody's home, take your shoes off. Like, at least ask them, if they're standing there in their shoes, like their outdoor shoes, you can get a feel for if you wear your shoes or not, right? If everybody's shoes are by the door, probably take your shoes off. But what about, okay, so when you go into like a Japanese home, they take their shoes off and they usually have like a step down, like you'll have like this little area. It's like a square and you step down into it and it's supposed to like collect all your dirt, like whatever from your shoes, and take your shoes off there. And then, you walk into your home. Well, technically you're supposed to put on house slippers, but I won't get into that. What about when you get into your car though? Like, you be dragging all that stuff into your car. I'm just saying. I might get a pair of slippers for the car and put my shoes in a bag. Many cultures do it. I was trying to hopefully Vincent's mom's listening and I'll get an answer. She'll give me one. Right? Came in and screwed the door shut. Well, he's not getting his security deposit back. I mean, hate to be like saying that, but When you had your Mustang, I used to put on slides to drive. See? Car slippers might be a little much. You think, Ava? I don't know. I think I'm gonna trick Vincent's mom. She's gonna know now. But I told Vincent I was gonna do that. I said, wait till we go to California next year. Or, whenever we go. I don't know why I said next year. Like that was a planned thing. But no, because I accidentally, most of you guys know this story, but the dirtiest shoes that you can wear, that you can own, let's be real, are a pair of Birkenstocks. They are God's gift to your feet, but they be dirty, right? They be dirty. Well, I went to meet Vincent's mom for the first time, and I knew in my head, you take your shoes off at the door. I grew up that way. I grew up, you take your shoes off at the door. I also grew up, though, in the 80s/90s, where if you kept the door open and it was summer out, for any more than 2 seconds, maybe 2.5 seconds, your dad was yelling, we're not here to cool the whole neighborhood. You know what I mean? You guys know, you guys heard it from your parents before. I'm not the only one. So I was walking into Vincent's mom's for the first time, and I was excited to meet her. And I saw that his brother had a package from Amazon. I'm like, I'm gonna pick this Amazon package up and take it in. I'm going to be the cool person in the house. I'm gonna be the coolest one here, right? No, I wasn't. I walked all the way through the house, through the living room, through their dining room, almost made it to the kitchen before she realized I still had my shoes on, my Birkenstocks, all the way through their house. No one's probably worn shoes in their house before. I was probably the first one. I just thought of that. Yeah, we ain't going there. Yeah, shut the door. Yeah. You better shut that door. There was this. Okay, so I thought this was kind of funny. I wish I would have saved the clip, because anybody that's been here, stay here for a minute. Anybody that's is in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, baby, whatever it is, you've heard these. This mom was like, what was the word? Like, not tragic, but like things that parents shouldn't say, I guess, to their kids. And one of them was like, she's telling these things, she's speaking half of it, and then she says to her daughter, what should the rest of the saying be? And of course her little girl doesn't know, because she's living in 2026, not living in our world. But this was one. I'll give you an example, and you guys will get it. I'm going to give you the first half of it. I brought you into this world. What comes after that? If your parents said, I brought you into this world, hey, Higgins, you know it. And I can take you out. Right? This woman said that to her daughter, and her daughter was like, well, I don't know. And like, she was so cute. She was so cute. And I'm going, no, that's not right. Did you see it? You saw it? I was like, oh my God, I couldn't remember all of them though. There was a few. And I was just like, oh my God, no, she didn't. Because I was like, my parents used to say that to me all the time. But they were funny. They were so funny. They were really funny ones. Like, I'm like, our parents did say that. Or like my dad would say, while you're up, like I would be sitting. I do this to Vincent. Thanks, Dad. He'll be like, he would be like, and I never, and if anyone ever says anything about this, I will punch you in your face. This was 80s, 90s. But he would say, hey, while you're up, give me a beer. Because on the weekends, he'd have some beers. And I'm like, I'm sitting down, Dad. Sitting down. Not even up. He's like, yeah, while you're up, grab me a beer. And then all of a sudden I'd be up. I'm like, how did he do that? The answers were really cute. They were. Like one of them was like something about, she was like, and you told me to be pretty or something like that. I was like, oh, that's so cute. But it was like so funny because like, those are the things we heard. And I don't think that I think I had a great childhood. I would not want to be a child in 2026. Like, I wouldn't even want to be in my 20s, I don't think. Maybe in my 30s, I would say that. No, I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm 40 and I feel good, for the most part, every once in a while. No, I do. I still feel good. Oh, she doesn't understand commercials. She said it's a mini show for your show. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, commercials. We don't really see commercials as much. I mean, unless you have like ads, like, but we don't really like see them. I kind of miss commercials. That was your time that you had to go to the bathroom or like, you know what I mean? It was like a race. You had to get it back before because if your favorite show was on, hello, they didn't play reruns that much. Like of your favorite shows, like you had to be there at a certain time. You know, TGIF. We every Friday. We were there watching all the shows. My parents were very gentle, I think, for the most part. My dad tried to be tough, which was really hilarious. Like it was funny. Like he grounded me twice. I was grounded for 3 weeks both times, and it lasted about 3 minutes both times. The first time I cleaned my room, I got ungrounded. Second time I ate half of a meatball. Half of a meatball. He just wanted me to eat. He loved to cook. And he's like, just why don't you ever eat these with your spaghetti? I'm like, I don't like them. But I got out of being grounded. With the power of love, CD Clay. Hey, I love Celine. Someone was talking about Celine. They were like, remember we used to sing Celine Dion? I'm like, yeah. Why did we do that to her? That poor woman. She has a beautiful voice. And we were like, I was singing Alanis Morissette on the playground at like 6th grade. What the hell did I know about anything being ironic? I didn't. Who the hell let me have that CD? My mom and dad. I think it was actually my mom. Celine is hilarious. I didn't realize how funny she was until her older years. And now I'm like, where has this Celine been? She's pretty funny. I'm so sad though for her. Really? Meatballs was your main? Oh, my dad would have loved you, Colleen. He just liked to cook. He was a cook. He loved to cook. Like my mom cooked most of the meals, you know what I mean? But like if it came down to it and he had to cook, he liked to do it. Or, you know, but my mom always cooked, it seemed like. Celine has always been thin. She's always been real thin, and she's got things that are wrong with her now. And yeah. Oh yeah, my dad used to love singing to the stuff that I liked. Whatever I liked, that's what he liked. Like when 50 Cent came out, I liked rap music. So, and I like country too, which was I don't know. And rock. I have a weird collection. I like it all. But I remember that 50 Cent CD came out, and my dad thought that the words were, instead of I'm a, M motherfucking PIMP, like pimp. My dad thought it said VIP. So he would walk around the house saying, I'm a mother effing VIP. And my mom, if my mom heard him, she would have killed him for saying it. It was when she wasn't listening and within earshot, because she would have. But I'm like, Dad, that's not even the words. That's not even the words. PIMP, not VIP. So now I say, when I sing it, if I hear it, I say VIP, just because I think it's hilarious that he said that. He thought he was doing good. And any CD I had, he would try to steal. But yeah. See? My dad liked Matchbox 20 a lot. Dwight Yoakam. Good golly, Miss Jolly. He thought he was Dwight Yoakam for a minute. I'll have to find some pictures. I'll have to find some pictures of him. He never took pictures. We never got him to take pictures. My mom will have like, there'll be some, it'll just be like a random picture of him. You know what I mean? Like, just, he's not smiling or doing much of anything. I think I have one or two with my dad, which is so sad. I only have a couple with my mom. And not when I'm older. You know what I mean? Like, my dad died when I was 22, my mom 30. So I do have a picture right out the door here of me and my mom. You saw both of them at concert? You're so lucky, Casey. I have pregnancy cravings. I'm not pregnant. I just go through different foods. I think it's my autism. I'll like go through something, I'll love it forever, and then all of a sudden I'll hate it. I'll be like, get it away from me. Like French fries. I still love French fries, but just not the certain brand, not the Rally's fries that you get like in the box and or the bag and you can put in the air fryer that are like really good. Those ones. I like Dwight Yoakam. I do like him. When my mom and him, like if my mom and my dad were having an argument, you could always tell by the music that would come on. My dad was like married. He was like being married to a teenager. You could tell by his music. It would be funny. I haven't been to a lot of rock concerts. I haven't been to a lot of concerts other than my friends that play like music. Bagel chips. Ooh. I'm liking those hot fries, but not the hot fries that you get like by the brand hot fries. Like I like those. But the Cheeto brand, they're even hotter. And Vincent's like, do you like hot stuff or something? Everything around here is hot. And I'm like, I guess. I didn't realize. Like the other day I was like, we were at Chipotle and I was like, I want all the green sauce that you can get me. Like just douse my taco in the green sauce. It's not that hot. But I do love Celine Dion. But oh man, she busts out that Titanic song. I would be a puddle on the floor as soon as it starts. Like the little flutes, like I think it is. The flute start. Yeah, no. You're not catching me there. I'd be crying. But I cried when I watched Titanic in the movie theaters. I went and saw it in the theaters. I can't believe that. Me and my friend, there was 3 of us, and 2 of us could sit together, but the other girl couldn't sit with us. We didn't do that on purpose. We didn't exclude her. She was like, I'm fine, I'll sit by myself. Like it was my best friend's cousin. So she was just like, I'm fine. She doesn't do it. Really? Yeah, I'm completely burnt out. Yep, that's me. To the point where like, I mean, burnt. I wish I would work with like drinking soda. 25th annual Break the Cycle tour by Stain. Ooh. Well, that's a good concert to take Boo to because she'll know all the songs. Like she'll know who they are. I love Seether. I used to love Seether. Who was the group that was like they were brothers? They came out at the same time Seether did. Can't think of their name. Oh, I bet that's pretty, Colleen. Also, she likes the pizza and the fries. I could do that. Chabelle. That's who it is. I could hear like the music. I just couldn't think of the band. I think they were on like, I remember when they were on like a night show when they first like came out, and I remember they were cute. They're brothers. Yeah, I remember they were cute. I was like, oh, they're pretty cute. My friend was into that kind of music. Like that was tame. That was like for me. He liked the stuff that you couldn't understand. Like he was in a screaming band. My best friend was, and everyone would look at us and be like, you guys are best friends. Yeah, why not? You know, like he was totally screamo, emo, all of it. But he was he is such a fun person. He would take my mom and like dance with her and stuff, and he was just funny. She liked him a lot. Yeah, like we would go to like places where you couldn't even I'm like, how am I listening to this? And it was so funny because they were like, every time I go somewhere, I wear white. I loved the color white. I still do. I mean, I'm wearing white today. Even my pants are like a light color. I was trying to put my like up there. But they were like, we can always find you wherever we go because everyone's dressed in all black and you're dressed in jeans and something white up top. And I'm like, I looked around one night and I was like, you're so right. See, well, that's not a bad song. Those aren't bad songs to get married to. Celine has some good ones. She has some good songs. All of her music's good. She's good. She's good people. And she's always stayed out of like the controversy. You know what I mean? Like, other than her being married to a man that was a lot older than her, but look, they were together till he died. And that was her soulmate. I mean, she still says that's my soulmate. Like the way that oh man, it's sad. You know, like whenever Celine does go, like she'll be going to her man. I wish Tom Petty wouldn't have passed. I would have liked to seen him. Well, thank you guys all for being here tonight. I appreciate you so much. I mean, Stained has been around forever, and I think it's going to be so fun to see them. You're going to put your lip ring back in? Oh, God, I did it twice. I did lip ring twice. In the middle. The labrae. My mom, okay, my brother came home, and he had, like, his ears pierced or something, and she was like, I hate it. And as soon as she said she hated it to him, and he was 16 or 17, right? He took him right out. No questions asked, not a fight, not a screaming match, nothing. My brother is like every kid's, every parent wants him to like as their kid, And so I got my lip done. I told my mom I was going to do it. I would never keep that from her. I think she had to sign for it, actually. I think she did sign for it for the first time I did it. And then what happened? The first time it got something happened and it came out and it was like, boop, couldn't even, within 2 seconds, it was closed. So I let it go for a while and then I got it done again. And through the scar tissue, it hurt. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. And then I was going to wear it for prom. So I was 17 because I was going to wear it to prom. I had like this little diamond I was going to wear. I remember I was like, I got it. I was super excited. I don't know why I was so excited. I'm not looking back. Oh my God, whatever. Don't ever let me do that again. But that's just me. I mean, the side would be better. But I ended up like swallowing it or something. It felt first time was surgery. That's what it was, stupid surgeon. He said, I'll push it back through. Even though I had a retainer one in for my surgery, he was like, just in case. I'm like, okay. I said, while I'm asleep, push it back through because I won't be able to feel it because I'll be asleep. He didn't. He didn't do it. Casey, my friend, did that. And then it got infected when they were on their cruise. And she was like, I don't know how to tell my parents. Oh, thanks, Colleen. Will you make us happy too? Well, thank you guys all for being here tonight. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to jump off here. I'll be back on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. I was going to do it as a video, but I might do it as a live. I don't know. I'm still debating. But look at this cute little thing I got today. It's for my rings. It's a good little dish. I just saw it. I thought I'd show it to you guys. I just got that earlier. We don't have anything coming up this week. Do we? What is the date? The 15th? Okay. In 9 days, we got Caleb Flynn's stuff, but no, nothing before then. So I don't know. Tomorrow we'll we'll talk about something. We'll figure it out. Oh, I did actually. There was some stuff over the Flynn case. I was going to show you guys this video from True Crime News. So maybe we'll go over that. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. I forgot to ask you guys to hit the like button, I believe, in the beginning of the live. I tend to do that sometimes. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting like the goal, or you can, become a member. We'd love to have you become a member of the channel. And I will see you guys all later on tomorrow. So you guys have a great night. Bye, guys.
The dying and shameless, I see the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. 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 Yeah, I just wanna be great.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is boring. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah,